The amount of people doing keto and carnivore diets who get jacked up because they are potassium deficient and don't even know it. Yeah, let's get into the symptoms and the types of potassium. A lot of you guys are suffering and don't even know it. Welcome everyone. Let's go right into this subject of your electrolytes and particularly potassium. Now this is an important mineral to help hydrate the cells. Becoming hydrated is not just about drinking water. People are like, I drink a ton of water and I get my potassium through meat. No. Again, stated over and over again, when you drop out your carbs, carbohydrate, you're dropping a lot of fluid via the kidneys, and it doesn't stop. You're like a tap, like the sink tap that just keeps dripping and dripping and you can't shut it off. So to stay hydrated, you have to watch your minerals. A lot of people are walking around with low blood pressure. The amount of people who are suffering from low blood pressure on carnivore, I mean, it's a problem. It's an epidemic. People can feel tired, tinnitus in the ear or tinnitus, vertigo, facial twitching, hand twitching, finger numbness, feeling like you got to pass out all the time, low energy, high blood sugar, of course the dehydrated sense, heart palpitations when you have low blood pressure. Yeah, you need sodium, potassium, magnesium, and enough fluid to balance the body, to hydrate the cells. It is more than just drinking water. But let's focus specifically on potassium rather than the magnesium. Magnesium is important. Potassium is that one mineral where people don't know how much to take, what kind. Should I try to get it from food? Should I try to get it from supplementation? Now let's go down the rabbit's hole. Because the dehydration thing, you can damage your heart. You can just damage your body, not balancing your electrolytes. Before I go more into potassium, the brain fog. It's a thing. Brain fog, brain fog. I hear my dog barking. It keeps distracting me, or he, in this video, so let me call him. I love calling him because I don't know if you guys can hear the beeping of the collar. This is the best type of product when your dog is running on 10 acres at night and you want to make sure he's okay. I'll be back with the potassium. You're not going to get enough potassium to hydrate the cells just by eating meat or broth or bone broth. It's just not going to happen. You hemorrhage fluid so much on keto and carnivore diets, I don't even think these gurus recognize their own symptoms. People develop ADH, which is antidiuretic hormone. They pee all the time. A lot of people are doing meat and salt, and to make their food more palatable, they'll just dump the salt, which dumps your potassium. And the symptoms, they can be nothing at first. You may notice absolutely zero. I didn't notice anything for 5 years. But then when it came, it was like a tsunami of symptoms, like rib cramps and leg cramps and nausea and diarrhea from potassium deficiency, also magnesium deficiency, but that potassium. Avocado is high in potassium, but a lot of you guys have a sensitivity to avocados, and it's perfect. You can kind of be an avivore, avocado carnivore, and at least you get a little bit of prebiotic fiber to help stabilize the gut microbiome. Now the whole fiber thing, people freak when I'm like, you need a little bit, not a lot. I'm fine. I do so much better. I'm going to do a video on this. I do so much better when I don't have any fiber. I'm like, you're supposed to do better with or without it. You shouldn't do worse if you have a little bit of plant source food. Something's wrong with your gut, but I digress. Potassium, let thy count the ways. We have the very common potassium chloride, which is an element in keto chow and a lot of these mixtures of garbage. Potassium chloride is cheap and it gives you relief with your potassium deficiencies and your dehydration, but at what risk? Because remember, on these low-carb diets, you are always on the verge of being dehydrated. You can't run towards these stupid garbage products that use preservatives and stevia and potassium chloride. Now, not all of them do that, but a lot of them do. You want to try to get most of your potassium, if not all, from food. And then we have salt. So that's a whole nother video that salt and potassium must balance perfectly. And then we have a speckle of magnesium to stay hydrated. And be careful with the calcium. That's a whole nother video. People are taking calcium supplements and they're creating little calcium overload in their body. But when it comes to potassium, you have potassium chloride. That's everywhere. Most of these products have this garbage, and it's really difficult and pretty harsh on the kidneys, and then indirectly it's hard on the liver as well. The problem is when you have too much potassium chloride, you're putting a strain on the kidneys, and remember, you're dehydrated and things have to filter through the kidneys. You're going to feel it with a little back pain. You can develop hyperkalemia from too much potassium. A lot of people develop this because they're dehydrated and they're trying to fix the problem by dumping these powders high in potassium chloride, which irritates the kidneys. Yes, and then the liver as well. Potassium citrate is a more gentle type of potassium. It's not as effective as the chloride, but it's not as damaging as chloride. If you have citrate, this is if you cannot tolerate an avocado. If you have potassium citrate and you have enough potassium in your meats, like pork, then, or do a meat broth, not bone broth, meat stock broth, then you can hit your potassium requirement without an avocado. If you have potassium citrate, then try to get high potassium meats. Now, if you can't tolerate citric acid, which a lot of you have a histamine, you can't do potassium citrate, there's more. Bicarbonate, aspartate, oronate, gluconate. There's a lot of them. But the best ones to start off with is going to be potassium citrate. And then I believe bicarbonate and gluconate. If you're having a histamine response, try these other ones. Fix the gut so you can fix your latex allergy and eat and consume the avocado in time. Gluconate is more gentle on the stomach. Bicarbonate, it takes down and buffers the acid in your blood. Not as effective as the citrate and the chloride, but chloride is just straight up toxic. So the cream of tartar, run. Don't touch that stuff. No. Be careful for certain products that you're trying to consume while being on a carnivore diet. Do more research, my people. Understand that you're probably consuming too much salt, which will push down your potassium, give you the heart palps, give you the facial twitching and the nausea and the diarrhea. You got to balance salt and potassium perfectly. And everyone's different. We start off with about a teaspoon of salt, depending on if it's summer or winter, if you sweat a lot or not. Magnesium. A lot of people are not taking magnesium. You have to. You're not going to get it from the food. I've got more videos on that subject of magnesium. But today, it's all about about potassium. Super important, because if you are potassium deficient, even if you test your blood and you test normal, that's only when you're testing it, because your blood levels of these minerals are going to change all day. And you can be dehydrated early on and hydrated later. You can have a low GFR half of the day and a higher GFR the other half. So just don't rely on the blood test. Know your body, know how to balance your electrolytes, and don't ever scrimp on the water, and don't drink too much water. If you guys want to learn more how to balance your electrolytes, what do you do if you have an electrolyte issue? If you have those symptoms, the cramps and the twitches and the vertigo, the tinnitus, like these are the weird symptoms. The high blood sugar from, these minerals help buffer the blood sugar. Y'all need to be able to seal the gut up, because a lot of you are going to lose minerals because you just have leaky gut. Doesn't matter. You can take it. And it's like the numbers show deficiency. So know your body more. You can go to my Instagram at Stephanie Ketogenic. Go to my Facebook fan page at Stephanie the Business Person. You can sign up for a consultation where I can really give you a lot of the knowledge that I've acquired over the years with working with thousands of people. I'm not going to cite some stupid arse study. Real people, real results. And my Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. I do run a course where I cover all 3 diets, because some of you guys cannot get hydrated. You're just failing at your electrolytes, don't know how to balance your sodium and potassium. Sometimes you have to go on carbs for a wee bit until you go off. I know. We don't like the carbs, unless you have to. And all the other projects, they're coming, and I'm out.